Now.
Hey, I want to thank you for taping this, and this is Kiera Einhorn, and I am really happy to share this moment with all these beautiful people. This has been an epic year of commitment and integrity and of showing up and creativity and community and discipline. And it has been something that has changed my life. Not only can I hold my handstand a lot longer, but I feel a lot stronger. Something shifted on the inside. And it's been quite a beautiful experience to experience this. I had no idea that this would actually happen. I didn't plan it, and it just kind of happened. And I feel that's what life's all about, is just saying yes to things that come your way and being spontaneous and seeing where it goes. So I would love for my beautiful community of lovely friends who have witnessed and some have taken pictures to feel free to ask questions if they feel. Does anybody have a question for me?
I do.
Okay, great. Amy.
Yeah.
Great.
Hi.
Hi.
So I've just recently met you.
Right.
And I think the first time I met you, like within 20 minutes, you were doing a handstand.
Yep.
At a Sunday supper or something.
Yep.
And so I want to know what in the world would make you think like I want to do a handstand for 365 days.
Great.
When, where, and how did you start thinking about that?
Okay. So it went down like this. I had gotten back from India in April of, at the end of April of 2015. And I was struggling really hard with reverse culture shock. I was having a hard time being back. I was really just feeling like the spontaneity of my life was not there anymore. Like I was back to the Bay. I was back to the things I was just like, oh, here we go again. Like where in India, every day was different. Every day was new and fresh. And I'm catching the train, or I'm meeting this person, or I'm teaching a yoga class, or I'm in with this special teacher. And here I'm back in the Bay. And so I think some part of me was feeling feelings, let's just say. And I gotten back really hard. I've been practicing yoga since 2001. And I've gone to yoga teacher training and, have practiced really hard over the years. In India, I started practicing every day. I would wake up every day and have a morning practice. And I continued with that. And long story short, I was at a yoga class and I walked out and I happened to look at my Facebook feed. And one of my friends that I had done dance training with back in the East Coast, her name is Sherry. Sherry's an elder, and she had recently lost her husband. Her husband had a heart attack, and it was her soulmate of plus 30 years. And I just thought about, wow, could you imagine finding your soulmate and having the best man in your life, having children with this man, and then all of a sudden him just leaving out of nowhere. Boom, it happened like fast. And she handled it with such grace. Like, everything about her was amazingly graceful and beautiful, and I've always loved her. I've always admired her, just because she's so kind and full of life. And so I just was like, I saw her post something. I always loved Sherry, and I saw her post, and she said for her daughter, she was going to do a plank a day, a minute plank. And I don't know, something in me just like that was like, for her daughter who was doing a handstand project, I said, I'm going to do a handstand. Why not? I want to get better at this. I'm just going to do it. And so in that moment, which was between a yoga class and a bike ride, I got to Whole Foods and I posted on my Facebook page, I'm going to do a 365 project. And I just jumped in like that. And I didn't really think about it. It just kind of was quick and fast, and that was how it started.
Cool. Let's meet Sherry one day.
I know, Sherry's great. I don't know if she's been doing her plank as much, because she's been really psyched about me, but she's like,
I have a question.
Sure.
What has it been like to be upside down every day?
It's been really good for me, because it's not always easy. Let's just say that. Like, there's days I can't get up, or there's days I can hold it longer, or there's days I can, and I still have to do it. You know, like I still have to do it. And so I just feel like there's something about the actual motion of doing the things that are hard or not, and being committed to that. And I feel like there's been days that like I'm like, I wait till the last minute, but once it comes, it just really comes. Or like, you know, what was really challenging, so I started in June, and it was really light out. And so it was really great. I could wait till 7:30, 8 o'clock at night and find places to go because it was super bright. But as the time switched back, 5 o'clock, I'm like, oh shit, it's dark. Excuse my French. But oh shit, you know, it's dark. And it's like, oh, where am I gonna go? And I would have to I had to change it up. And so like every day to have to get up into something that was not always easy was really good for me. And it was really good because I met a lot of great people. Like I was on the streets a lot of the time, and I would have to be like, hey, like let me tell you about my project. I'm doing this thing. Would you mind taking my picture? I mean, I probably have met in the course of this year I've had over probably 250 strangers take my picture. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of strangers. That's a lot of people that I would never in my life have met or talked to you, but because of this project, not only did I talk to you, I actually got to know, share my love of this project, and get them excited too, and get them out of their kind of thing. And so that was actually really special.
That's cool. So that goes back to what you were looking for from India about like
Spontaneity. Boom. Cool. Yeah.
So you had to take a photo of every day.
Every day.
And so out of all the photos, all the people you met, what was like the highlight? Like what was the most exciting,
Sure.
impactful
Sure.
meeting person experience of
I can't say one. That's hard. But I can say I can name a couple that stand out that just strike a chord. That just like automatically hit me. I was up. First one that just comes to quick mind. I was up by the Solar Living Institute. I was driving up to Ukiah, and it was starting to set. The sun was starting to set, and I was like, shoot, who's gonna take my picture? I wanted to take it outside the gate. The Solar Living Institute had closed, and so I drove into town, and a woman was at a market, and I actually said to her, hey, I said, I'm doing this project. I need somebody to take my picture. Will you take my picture? And she was like, yeah, of course. And she followed me, got in her car, got in my car, and we followed each other back to the Solar Living Institute and stood there for it took about 15 minutes to get the right picture, with the sun setting and the shadows. And so that was a really sweet experience. I also had an amazing experience on 22nd and Telegraph. Down in downtown Oakland.
Wow.
Somebody had told me about a mural that was a handstand. And so I was on the prowl to look for a handstand mural. I'm looking, it's getting dark. Oh shit, it's getting dark. Uh-oh. 5 o'clock, better get my handstand in. Not gonna be much light. And I come across, I asked somebody, I say, where's the handstand? They said, oh, it's been sprayed over. This is what's here now. And I'm like, oh no. But there's Ganesh. Does everybody know what Ganesh is?
Yeah.
All right, we love Ganesh, especially coming from India. So there's Ganesh. But I'm on the corner, and it's downtown Oakland, and I'm like, who's gonna take my picture? Shit, it's gonna be interesting. I was like, all right. And across the street, dudes are on the corner. I don't know what they're up to, and I'm like, all right, they're gonna have to be the ones. So kind of come on over. I'm like, hey, I'm doing a project. I'm doing this project. What do you think? Would you want to do this with me? And they're like, what kind of project are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing a handstand project? What do you want us to take the handstand? I'm like, no, listen. I want you to take my picture in front of the Ganesh. Are you cool with that? They're like, yeah, I can do it. I can do that. Two of them walk across the street with me. I'm so gonna take the handstand picture. Of course, it's the day that I am like struggling to get up. I'm like kicking. So now we've got an audience, because not only do they come, now all of a sudden all these people start to come, and there's this whole thing. And not only that, they're like cheering me on. They're like, come on, girl, you got this, you got it, you got this. And I'm trying so hard and I can't. And I'm doing, you got it, you got it, you got it. And then somebody will, man, can't you see she's taking a handstand picture? And they're yelling because somebody walked in front of the picture. And so at the end, we get this picture, and I high-five the whole, probably all 6 of them now. Everybody's out there. And I'm like, thank you so much. And they're all like, baby, stay sweet. And I'm like, you too. Thank you so much. So that was a really good, sweet one that I loved. Another one that actually was awesome was, oh God, there's been so many. I've had kids take my picture. So I was in Alameda, and there was a girl, she's about 14, and she's walking in, and she's, and I'm like, hey, I'm like, would you mind taking my picture? And first she's like, and you could tell, like, normal reaction is to not necessarily, like, who is this? Who am I? Who's rolling up on her? And I was like, hey, would you mind taking it? I said, look, let me show you what I've been doing. I would love, what do you think? Do you feel comfortable doing this? And so we got the picture, and she said, I want to show you the block. She said, there's a lot of really cool murals around here. So we went on a walk. And there's this really cool spot in Alameda. Well, it's not actually Alameda. It's like right before Alameda. It's like in this warehouse district right before you cross the bridge of Alameda. And she was showing me them, and there was actually another picture of Ganesh. And I said, do you know who Ganesh is? And she's Mexican. And she said, I don't. I said, well, this is actually this is like in the Hindu tradition, this is like a protector. She says, oh my God, I just thought this was an elephant. And she says, it's amazing. And so we walk through each of these murals, and we're talking about them and sharing this experience. And she said, thank you so much. I would have never known this. And I said, because she was telling me stuff about her culture as well. I said, this is what's so beautiful, is that we get to learn from each other, is that sometimes we don't get to learn these things in school, but we get to learn it from each other. And I think that's what's really special. And so that was a really special one. I've had a lot of great hugs and great experiences with people off the street.
How are you gonna follow that up?
So my next project is all about getting out in the streets. And so that's something that I've always really wanted to do. And so I actually am going to be out doing work with community, and every day we'll be out connecting with people and from all walks, I think, because I feel like I just know from myself, because of who I am and who I get to meet, I only get to meet a sliver of humanity. I don't get to intersect with all of humanity because of who I am. And I feel like when I've been out with my handstand, I've gotten to connect with more of humanity. I really appreciate, I think we all have a lot to offer each other. And I think sometimes because of just the way life is and the way that we only connect with friends that we know, or the work or the people, that we don't get to meet as many people, we don't get to hear as many voices. So my actual project will get me out, and it's my real desire or intention to actually cross section with not only the people that I might look like, but that maybe look really different or come from different backgrounds or from different socioeconomic classes. Because I think, you know, ultimately I'm gonna embrace or ask questions to people who I think ultimately as humans we can connect. And I think it's really interesting to hear voices of humanity, beyond just what we're comfortable with. I think we all have something to share, from all backgrounds. And so that's what I want to do next. I'm curious. Somebody said to me recently, they're like, "You have a curious mind." I said, "Actually, I do." And so my curiosity and my love of people and love of the voice of real talk, of real people be able to be expressed through this next project. And I'm really grateful for the discipline, because this has taught me about discipline. You know, like if anything, what this project has really shown me is like, we have made how many promises to ourselves? I have made 1,000,001 promises. I have written in my journal every January 1st or December 31st, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. It's going to look different and it's going to be different. And I have maybe committed to some, but I haven't really been able to commit to something every single day in the way that I've been able to commit to this every single day. And so I think that it's really a beautiful practice for people to just commit and say yes to self, whatever it is.
So was the most challenging handstand one with Ganesh, or was it something else?
I think my most challenging handstands were always on cement or like rocks, on like stones, like where I really felt like on grass and sand and like things like the energy actually of earth gives to me, and I actually feel safe on it. But there's something about cement surfaces when I would have to kick up, like I would have hesitation. Like there was a part of me that wanted to protect myself, that was just like, it didn't flow as well. The energy didn't come through me as well. Because ultimately it's an energy that comes through me that I feel like, yeah, that just like happens. And so cement has always been my, not on cement, not on those rocks.
So we just did your left handstand on cement.
Yeah.
Killer.
But you know what? With a lot of love and a lot of surrounding and a lot of good juju around. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, there's been a lot of challenging days that I can do it, and days that I get up and it's great and easy. And it just is a correlation to days of our lives. I think we all wake up and have really easy days. Really days that we're just like, this day is great, can we keep it? And then we wake up and there's days that are not as easy. And we have to get through that too. And so, yeah.
Can you say something about the process of coming up with the quotes that you would use? I was always impressed by the quotes and how you would write those and how they would match the handstand, the place, and if those were all quotes you just had stored in your head, or if you would, just kind of because you came up with so many cool quotes from different authors and your own insights.
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes I have a lot to say, and like people have, like, I think, there's a voice of the people, and like the handstands were the creative aspect, and then whatever like was happening in that day, like whether it was about spirituality or about freedom or about like solidarity or prison reform or like things that were happening out in the world, like I would look it up and see what people have to say, and like I would go through and find something that was like, yes, that's it. Because like there were times I would write stuff, but then there was times that like they had the quotes were just so inspiring. Like people have said such amazing things that matched it so well, and it was fun to find it. And it was actually fun also to have a voice too, when I would feel that I could be able to express myself in a way that would correlate from the picture to what I wanted to say. And it was good practice, you know, to actually be able to have a voice and then to find like what matched that picture.
How did trust kind of factor in to your asking and approaching people that and just did you struggle with that at all in terms of just being a kind of self-conscious about whether your idea would be received well, or whether you should give your phone to this person, whether they might run off with your phone?
Sure.
And how did that trust evolve from the beginning towards to the end? Do you feel like you gained more trust in human, like in the human condition and identification with others? And
I gave my phone to a shit ton of people. Like, I really gave I feel like there was a lot of people who actually like, a lot of people were kind of like with their like rose quartz glasses on, like they were kind of just like going through their life, like had headsets on, or just like not really, they were just kind of like, or like kind of, I mean, I'm really connected with a lot of people, and I would just be like, hey, I need you. I need you. And it was amazing. I don't know, like the whole thing about being of service shifts people into a way higher role. There is something that when you allow people to be of service, to help, they step up. They want to help. You give them a job and they want to help you. In all walks, they feel special. I've seen people who are bummed out, tired, maybe alcohol in their breath, and we would go through shot after shot. Sometimes I'm like, can we take it again? It's not straight enough. Can we try again? Hey, one more time. They're like, sure, I'm in no rush. I want you to get the good shot. What do you think? And not once did I ever worry about, never worry about my phone. I really honestly have a lot of respect for humanity. I think people ultimately, truly are really good. I think that when you give people a chance to be good, they're good. You know, you have to give them a chance to be good and they can step up and meet you there. You know, but if you come off like, I've always come off trusting. I trust you. I trust you. I trust you. I trust you. I trust you innately. Why would you want to take my phone? Why would you want to hurt me? I'm not going to hurt you. Why would you want to hurt me? So it's like, because I came, it's like, and not once did I ever feel like, oh, that was shady, or oh, that was weird. I mean, you know, there was times where people were in a rush and I could feel like, okay, they had to keep moving, or there were people I asked and then I got the hit and that's not them. I had once, a couple weeks ago, a man who told me to walk in front of him so he could look at my ass. And I turned around and I said, no, I don't think so. Like he said, you could keep, I said, and I said, no, I don't want you to take the picture. And he's like, what? I'm like, no, this is not okay. And I don't feel safe and I'm not cool with the fact that you just did that. And he was like, I don't understand. I'm like, you don't understand. What you did is disrespectful. It's not respectful to me, and I don't feel safe with you anymore, and I'm so sorry. Like, I don't ask, you know, and so I had to talk to him and work it out and say I don't feel safe and ask somebody else who was amazing. And, you know, this is the process, and maybe, you know, we're all teaching each other. Maybe he was my teacher in some way, and I had to be his teacher in some way.
So how do we create more opportunities for people to step into a place of service so the true, authentic self can come out in them? What are some of the ways that you could see us doing this as a society, as humanity?
See the good in people. Tap into the good. You know, ask. You know, like don't be afraid to you know, ask people what they think. Let people have a voice. Give them a chance to talk. Give them a chance to have their opinion, and honor them for that. I think, and give them things that they can do. Give them. I think it's important for anybody, everybody, to feel that they belong, and that they have what it takes to do something. I think that's really something that I took away from this, is that you want to empower people, meet them in that place. We're all empowered. We all have that going through our veins, our bones every day. We all are in that energy. It's an energy that we carry. It's like, are you going to look at that person as this, or are you going to look at them elsewhere? Are you going to look at them as this? You know, so I just see meet them in their highest place, and share with them. And
so everyone has medicine. Everyone has a gift.
everybody does. Yes.
Yes.
And you know, and be open. I think for me, what I really, because I'm so curious, I'm open. I want to know, who are you? What do you got? What do you have for me? Because I'm here to learn. I look around to cultures and to people, and everybody has something that my parents didn't give to me. My family, my teachers, my school, my upbringing never, ever, ever gave to me. It was a surface, brush. And to be able to go out into the world where people are coming from all walks, all places, and have a lot stored inside of themselves and want to share it. Believe it or not, a lot of people out there want to be of help if you can let them help. Want to offer their medicine in some way. Just like we all do. I think in some way we all want to make a mark here. You know, whatever our true ultimate thing that we came to this planet for, right? In some way we all carry it, we all shine it, we all feel it inside, we all want to offer it. Because that's where we're here for a short time. So, you know, it's like give each person an opportunity to do that. And ourselves. Because I feel like if you're walking your talk, then people want to show up. But if you're like kind of bullshitty or weird, I think because I was so authentic, I'm kind of authentic, as you can tell. Like, I don't hide much. You know, people are like, oh, she's safe. And so because I'm safe, they are safe to be with me. And so that's how... Did that answer your question? No, sort of.
I just wanted to get you to talk more, that's all. It's very good. Very good. It's an invite, that's all it was. You know, more of the energetic footprint that comes out of you. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you all. I'm so grateful for each of you. It's helpful and beautiful and empowering and special to be able to, you know, walk this planet with friends and with people that are speaking your language, you know, and want to help others and are doing good work. I mean, I look around, everybody here in this room in some ways doing really great work. Whether they're using their hands or massaging or healing or therapy or coaching or working in the prison system or working with young people or whatever. Everyone's doing great stuff. And it's a pleasure to be able to walk with good humans.